Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Appraisal Buzzcast. I'm Jim Morrison, and with us we have Joan Trice, founder and CEO of Allterra Group, and Joe Gentile, the Vice President of Real Estate for Pearl Certification. We're going to be discussing energy efficiency and green certification and what it means for appraisers. Joan, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Jim, and welcome, Joe. It's good to see you. And we're going to talk green today, right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate you having me on today.
Okay, let's dive right in. So tell us what a Pearl certification is.
Sure. What Pearl is we come in, we certify all the high performing features in a home. Then we provide really good documentation to the homeowner or the real estate agent to help bring the value of the energy efficiency or the high performance of the home to the forefront of the real estate transaction. So we work with contractors across the country that are doing these energy retrofits on existing homes. And we work with real estate agents that are trying to capture listings and help them market them correctly.
And I gather also, don't appraisers get trained on Pearl certifications as well?
Sure. So part of the documentation that we offer is the Appraisal Institute's Green and Energy Efficient Appraisal Addendum. In addition to that, we offer the Pearl certification report and letters to the lender, buyer, and appraiser. What we're trying to do is raise the standard, get these energy efficiency features or the high performance features noticed within the appraisal process as well as the real estate transaction. So what we do is we're a portal for correct documentation for the appraiser to leverage that within the evaluation process.
So question for you. I know I see this question asked a lot. The challenge I understand for appraisers is that, they're the sort of the last person in the transaction. And a lot of the energy efficient features of a particular home or any certifications often aren't noted in MLS, nor is there even a placeholder in MLS. Is that changing?
Sure. Well, the MLSs are doing a great job, some better than others, but they do have what's called green features. Unfortunately, green features where you can check off in the MLS. Unfortunately, they're the least utilized tool in the MLS. And it's the biggest reason is the real estate agent is fearful of misrepresenting the listing, right? So what Pearl does is when we come in, we certify all the features in the home. We provide a list to the real estate agent of all the features that they can check off in the real estate, in the MLS. So they don't have to worry about the liability issue. Because you're right, it's when appraisers come in, they're not trained on understanding what a 96% efficient furnace is as opposed to an 80%. They just know that there's a furnace in the home. Right. So it's up to us to bring those features to the forefront of the transaction for the appraiser so they can get noted.
Okay, that makes perfectly good sense. Well, let's do this, Joe. Let's break for a commercial message and we will be right back. Jim?
An accurate appraisal is only as good as the data you collect, especially when it comes to measuring GLA. Right from the homeowner's smartphone, Remote Val uses advanced property scanning and LiDAR to generate exterior room sketches with GLA dimensions. Testing shows Remote Val is accurate within 2 inches when compared to standard tape and laser measurements. Remote Val is fast, easy to use, and completely free for appraisers. To see a demo of Remote Val in action, visit incenteram.com.
Welcome back, everybody. And Joe, I understand that you recently conducted some focus groups. That's kind of fascinating what you were sharing with me. Tell me what you learned. Well, actually, and who those focus groups were comprised of, more importantly.
Sure. So we did a series of 4 focus groups. The first 2 were real estate agents. The second 2, one was a millennial homeowner group, and the other one was a Gen X homeowner group. And what we were trying to dive into is what is the want or desire for a high performance feature? And I had this theory coming in that nobody enters into a real estate transaction saying, well, I really need my house air sealed correctly. Right. So like, frankly,
not usually a feature. Yeah. The wife puts on her checklist. Right.
Right. Yeah. So we knew they would score relatively low. But if you went up to a group of homeowners and said, who here would like to live in a house that had less dust, less bugs, less mold? All of a sudden, if you start describing the feature by its benefits, nobody in their right mind wants the house that has more bugs in it. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. So what we did was we started asking the agents and the homeowners to stack rank a variety of different features. We included ones, like open floor plan, finished basement, patio. And then we included some just, air sealing, insulation, heat pump. And what we found was what everyone would imagine, right? That you want the open floor plan, you wanted the finished basement. Those were all the things that were most desirable. Then we restacked those by describing them by their benefits. And that's where the delta between the real estate agent and the homeowner started to really widen. The real estate agent really, they adjusted the stack ranking slightly, but the homeowners drastically did. So what all the homeowners wanted was lower energy costs. They wanted evenly heated and cooled home from room to room. So they wanted the things based off their benefit. And then when we started describing what that meant, it made sense to them. Right? But yeah, like I said, nobody ever comes into the transaction, but if you describe the feature correctly, it will become so desirable that when they go to the house next door and it doesn't have that, the house that they were in previously will be more desirable. So it was fascinating to watch it happen. And I thought there would be a difference between the Gen X and the millennials, but it was really, I was surprised that, everybody readjusted them, pretty similarly.
I think this is a really timely topic too, because, there's a lot of focus right now on the affordable housing sector for this very simple reason that we have virtually no inventory, period. But when you drill down to the affordable housing stock, there virtually isn't any. But for let's say a first-time home buyer who's in that affordable housing cohort, utility costs and the cost of operating a home are incredibly crucial. And I'm always shocked that the cost of maintaining a house is not part of the mortgage transaction, because just as a personal aside, I had a friend of mine who bought a home, was an adorable home. It had been refurbished. It looked great, but she loved the house with one exception. She had electric baseboard heat, and she had a monthly $700 heating bill. And she could hardly afford the house in the wintertime because of that heating bill. So it seems to me there's an opportunity here for Pearl to jump on that challenge.
Yeah, so we developed a home portal that's free to consumers right now called Green Door. And you register your home with Green Door, you talk about the different assets that are in your house. And what it'll do is it'll let you know different things that you can do to help raise its efficiency. And they'll give you like a good, better, best type of situation. Someone like that, like, you'd be surprised. It's a very low cost of change. Like, if you talk to a home performance contractor, to add insulation to your home is not that expensive, but it can drastically change your lifestyle in the house. And that's what people don't understand. Like, if you live in the state of Massachusetts, for instance, they have a Mass Save program that every 3 years you can reapply for it. So for a couple $100, you can completely insulate your home through Mass Save. So
wow.
it's incredibly interesting. But for us, it's about people understanding, like, conditioned air that's in your house shouldn't be leaking out. So how do you prevent that? Or unconditioned air shouldn't be leaking in. And that's where all the dust particles and the bugs come in and things of that nature. So it's an education process to let people know, okay, these are really good, inexpensive ways to make your home more higher performing. And it's really up to the homeowners to really adapt them. My house was built in 1950, and it's a Pearl certified gold home because of all the work my wife and I have done to it. So it's terrific. Our energy cost is one of the best in our neighborhood, according to our energy provider. But yeah, it's terrific to know that our costs are relatively low. And again, in today's world, gas prices where they are and inflation where it is, at least we know the cost to run our home really is fixed, and it doesn't fluctuate much for us.
That's fantastic. Well, let's break one more time, Joe, for another commercial message.
Whether you're looking for an authoritative textbook or detailed information on current valuation issues and specific property types, you'll find what you need at the Appraisal Institute store. To choose from more than 70 print and digital options, shop appraisalinstitute.org/store. That's appraisalinstitute.org/store.
So, Joe, welcome back, by the way. Let's talk about what Pearl certification means to the appraiser community. You have a great partnership, I understand, with the Appraisal Institute on this.
Yeah, so what we've done is we had this great certification to help real estate agents sell homes. So we incorporated the AI appraisal addendum into our certification. With that, their processes for appraising home, because again, it doesn't help the homeowner to sell it for more if we can't find that value. So what we do is we've teamed up, we've included their addendum within our certification, and we provide all the documentation an appraiser needs to verify that all these assets are in the home, and so they can appraise it properly. What we try to do as well is work with lenders, because it's really critical for the lender to ask the right appraiser to appraise the home. So there's some great training at the Appraisal Institute. They have the intro to green valuation. They also have the case study course, which are 2 courses that we really help promote. So when we bring Sandy into a new marketplace, we try and get those 2 classes up and running to get all the appraisers trained that we can. And again, it's about bringing that home, that high performance to the forefront of the transaction, both on the sales side and the appraisal side.
Fantastic. Well, Joe, we really, really appreciate you joining us today. And maybe we'll see you in Las Vegas at Valuation Expo this year.
We would love to be there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
In uncertain times, you need a certain partner. You don't have to sacrifice top-notch coverage for an affordable premium. Intercorp has all the options and is sure to have just the right one to fit your specific needs. They provide the appraisal profession with competitive, best-in-class E&O coverage solutions nationwide. Having served the insurance needs of the industry for more than 25 years, Intercorp understands the risks you face every day. Whether you're an individual appraiser, appraisal firm, residential, commercial, or an AMC, visit intercorpinc.net to get a competitive quote today. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Joe. And thanks to all of our listeners who joined us, as well as the sponsors who help us put these together. If you have any comments, please reach out to us at comments@appraisalbuzz.com. Thanks and have a great day.